Hey guys, my name is Ben Ma. Welcome to my 5th YouTube video. Over the years, I have developed the ability to really concentrate and focus for long hours at a time. That wasn't natural, it was more of a trained skill. To get better at drawing, you obviously need to draw more. There is no real shortcut around that, but there are a few pointers that can help you improve more efficiently. You need to start drawing from observation and imagination at the same time so that you can get real references of how parts of the world works. You can draw objects, you can draw space, you can draw people, and so that you can build the visual vocabulary in your head. And then later you can pull from when you are drawing more and more imaginatively. To me, I love to be able to draw from imagination. The artist that I always respect is Kim Junji and also Sid Mead. By learning about their stories, I noticed that they did a lot of drawings from life, and then they immediately applied that to something imaginative. Just think about having more vocabularies in your head, in your mental library, so that you can always pull from when you are drawing from imagination. And second, you need to study how to draw constructively, aka you need to train yourself to draw perspectives really well. Perspective drawing is something that needs to be learned. It's good for you to spend dedicated time on perspective fundamentals, especially if you want to get into product design, industrial design, and especially architecture. The structural understanding of how things work is going to let you draw in a super convincing way. One of my biggest aha moments in my drawing journey was that I was drawing for a long time as a pastime, and then I took it more seriously and then got into an art school. But only after I started to look into how to draw in 3D, with real dimensions, I realized that by harnessing that ability to draw full-on perspective drawings, I can literally draw anything. And to me, that is still one of the most rewarding aspects of drawing and designing as a career. It's whatever you have on your head, you can push it out, with as simple as just a pen on paper. I do not worry too much about whether if my drawing looks good. The beauty of drawing as a practice is that it eventually is becoming a visual note-taking tool for myself. Like, I prioritize getting the idea down more clearly over making it look more pretty. So more volume and more clarity of thinking matters more than a very polished drawing, especially if you're just starting out. I also encourage you that it will be good for your drawing journey to build a feedback loop. You should share your work and just be honest about yourself about what you're missing. Instead of repeating the same thing, it will be really helpful for you to get your drawings looked at by somebody who has more experience. Tell them what you want to draw, what you want to achieve, and a person with more experience will kind of show you how it's done. One of the best experiences I had while studying at Art Center College of Design is that when we were beginning students learning how to draw car design, we had higher term students coming into our visual communication class and really show us step by step of how they draw a vehicle. And it was and then we were being asked to repeat that process. The idea of getting demoed to draw and then replicate that process yourself, that is actually one of the most rewarding things you can do to improve your drawing. I wanted to also talk a little bit about the idea of a flow state. I have experienced a flow state frequently when I draw. It's nothing super fancy. It's more like you're just so in your head with what you're doing in front of you, and you just lost track of time. I think that if you truly enjoy drawing and potentially want to make this a career, you want to be able to love the process. The process is actually what I love the most about drawing. The outcome is, if you love the process, the outcome is going to be rewarding to you. That is very true for me. I think for example, if I spent an hour or two on an architectural concept, in the process I was talking to myself in my head on where things are, why things are, and how do people navigate within that space. Once I go over the reasonings while I develop the drawing, at the end, the drawing is a result of all the thinking combined that I had while doing the drawing. And also, drawing isn't usually the end product for me. For example, when I'm sketching a pop-up experience, the sketch itself is a way that I can showcase to my clients, this is what I think would be cool to put up as a pop-up experience. If we both are good with the sketch, then we can go into 3D modeling. I see drawing as a part of a larger process for me to world build. I think it's a very natural way for a human to conceptualize a vision they have in their mind. It's a way of thinking visually. After 13 plus years of drawing and designing, I honestly kind of forget what it's like not to be good at it. But looking back through this whole journey, I never really doubted whether I was headed in the right direction. The way that I kind of plot my dots forward is that I always just really try to look for artists and artworks and design works that I really relate to and I aspire to, and that's how I continue to grow and continue to move forward as a designer. My mindset toward drawing is that I treat it as a thinking process. The way I value a drawing is by the concept that it represents. It's less of what the quality of the drawing is. If you want to be a good industrial designer, your job is to reduce the friction between your imagination and how it gets visualized and how it gets made in real life. I am not really concerned with whether if a drawing looks good. I'm more concerned with whether the thing that I'm conceptualizing makes sense. Drawing is how I lock in the overall concept, and Blender is how I bring that vision into something much more immersive and easily for a client to understand. To me, drawing is a core component of how I design. When everything is super digital, I feel like I would lose the human touch. So that it's really important to me whenever I work with clients that the first step of the process when you're working with me is we will go through a design process that is primarily physically drawing based. Regarding this career, there's so much in the world to be designed. And if you can draw, you can design, the opportunity for you is really infinite. There are endless opportunities for designers to apply their creativity in fashion design, in graphic design. This career is definitely worth it. And it's really not as hard as many people might think. I would suggest that instead of thinking that having a career in design might be difficult, I would encourage to think about all the good that you can bring into the world by bringing an idea into reality that is good. I will highly recommend a book called How to Draw by Scott Robertson. That book was my first window into how to draw perspective constructively. And the very same skills that I self-learned through that whole book that I still use to every day. It's literally one of the fundamental core skill set for you to acquire to be a good designer. That book has enabled me to see the world and understand the world in a three-dimensional way. That's all I've got for this video. If you find it valuable, please like and subscribe. And more importantly, if you have any questions on the subject of drawing or design, or about life as a professional designer, what the career is like, please drop them in the comments, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Thank you.